Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Draco as usual. He's so excited because we are in the top 20s now. We're going to do 20 to 11. And yeah, top 100 is really fun to do. Really hard to do as well because you have to rank these games and compare them to each other. That could be really tricky to decide. And I have so much anxiety trying to figure out, well, should I put this here or there? And yeah, wow. But it's done and we're here, and now we're doing the top 20 or sort of, yeah, 20 to 11. So let's start with number 20. I should say also, almost all of these games I did make videos for, so I put some links up here in the eye, but you can also check out the channel for all of these games, almost all of them, and find more videos about them. So if you think a game sounds interesting, check it out as well. So number 20 was number 5 last year, so on my top 50, so this has really dropped down a bit, but it's still a great game, of course. I mean, it's number 20, right? It's called Great Western Trail. And Great Western Trail is an awesome game, and the only reason it's dropped down is because I got a little bit tired of it. I mean, I love it, but at the same time I feel like I'm kind of doing the same thing, trying out a few different strategies, of course, and so on, but there is an expansion coming. Actually, there is an expansion out as you watch this, but when I record this pre-Essen because I wanted to do this before Essen because then I will have so much to do. So anyhow, on Essen there's an expansion coming called Railways to the North. At this time that you're watching this, I probably already played it, maybe you have as well, but this is for the base game. So Great Western Trail is my number 20. My number 19 was number 10 last year, so it's also dropped down, and the same thing there. It's a great game. It's just that I haven't played it that much, and when I did, I felt a bit like, you know, there's so many new games coming in and so much excitement for the new games. So this is Viticulture anyway. Viticulture with Tuscany, I should say, because without Tuscany it would be further down, but with the Tuscany expansion, I love it. You have the 4 seasons, you have all the stuff comes with Tuscany. It's just such a good expansion. So Viticulture is a worker placement game that has some really interesting stuff in it. I really love how it's so beautiful. All the components are really beautiful, all these little wooden pieces. And you're making wine and you're selling the wine with these contracts. I just think it's just adorable game. And I just love how you do this in the season, so you have to plan out your worker force to last the whole year and so on, and you can get blocked by other players and all that. I love this as a solo game as well, just so good. So Viticulture is my number 19. My number 18 was 24 last year, so this one has actually gone up a bit for me, and that is Tzolk'in, the Mayan calendar. And Tzolk'in is just such a good game. It's just amazing how they made these actual plastic wheels that you turn, and so time, it's a worker placement game where you actually have time as a resource because you place your workers out and then you have to wait, and the more you wait they become stronger and stronger, they give you better benefits, and it's just so good. And there's an expansion for it that brings different tribes, so that I love that one. I always play with that one, so that each player has different special powers they can do, and as you, it's one of those worker placement games where you place the workers, but they don't come home automatically. You have to spend a turn taking them home, which is such a good mechanics in a board game, I think. I love this one, Tzolk'in, the Mayan calendar. That is my number 18. So my number 17, and this is the biggest, well, not the big, well, it's hard to say. Compared to the top 50 last year, this is the biggest rising of a game. Now there's a lot of games that are new that just came in the top 100, right, or in the top 50, but this one has really, this has gone from 49 to 17th place, and it's called Pursuit of Happiness. And Pursuit of Happiness is a worker placement game that's just so fun, so amazing. You're basically playing a life. You're playing a life. So you're starting out as a youngster in the 20s. You have your sort of background from when you were a kid, and you do actions to like work, and it sounds a bit boring maybe, but it's so much fun. You get these works, and you have projects that you work on, and you can start dating, and you can get a relationship, and you can switch out works, and you can get stressed because you're doing too much. If you have 2 relationships, that's really stressful, as you would imagine it from real life. You can sort of, and you're trying to amass happiness. So sort of short-term happiness will help you in the short term, but the long-term happiness is your points. That's how you win the game. And just so much fun with this, and there's an expansion, that's why it has risen a lot as well. I love the expansion, Communities I think it's called, where you actually can go out and do stuff in the community as well that will help you out and make you popular, and if you're popular you will get happiness from that as well. So, and just so beautifully done, and you're sort of telling a story as you're playing this game. When we play it in my gaming group, we don't play it just like mathematically to get the score. We sort of tell the story of this guy that I'm playing and what happened to him and so on. Just having so much fun with that. So that is Pursuit of Happiness, my number 17. And I haven't made a video for this one actually, I should do that, I just realized. So number 16 I made videos for, it's called Agricola, and it has dropped from number 9, so it's dropped out of the top 10. Agricola is a great game, just as Caverna and so on, but Agricola, I played it a while back and I just felt a little bit, like, yeah, it's too, for me it felt like it was too much, just do this, do that, do that. I mean, I love that stuff. I love how to plan and do this occupations and all that, and get the resources and build the stuff and feed your people. I love it, but for some reason, just I put it on like a little minus on it on my notes because I wanted to lower it a little bit. It's not in my top 10 anymore, but Agricola is a great game, and I think it's going to stay up here in the top 20-ish for a long time. So Agricola is my number 16. My number 15 is a totally new on the list, came out of nowhere, well, I knew it was coming because I kickstarted it. It's called Endeavour, Age of Sail. Endeavour is a sort of colonized Europe with your actions that you can do with your little population markers, and then you do different actions on the board, and those actions give you stuff and make you better at doing the different stuff, like getting more population or being better at building buildings. And there's a lot to say about this game, and it's really, for me right now as I'm filming this is like my number 1 game I want to play at the moment, but to put it in a context of all time, I put it on number 15, and I think it will stay there actually, because I just love this game, and I haven't even seen half of it yet, because there's these exploits that you add every game, and they're different every game, and they affect how the game plays. If you want to check it out more, you can check the link there for my run. I did a 2-player playthrough with Draco, a full playthrough actually. So that is Endeavour, Age of Sail, number 15. Number 14 has moved up as well. It was on 25 last year, but it's up here to 14, and I just love this one. It's called Automobiles. This is a what's it called, bag building game. It's like a deck builder but with little cubes in a bag, and you pull them out and you put them in, and you have a discard and all that. And it's a racing game. You're racing on a track with cars, and the way you race is by playing these cubes. And the cubes have different meaning each time you play as well, because you have different cards that you put out. So the green cube could be this or it could be that, depending on which card came out at the start of the game. And so you have to race on the track, but at the same time, if you're going too fast, sort of you take this wear on the car, so you can put these black cubes in your bag, and they are worthless because when you pull them out they don't do anything for you, so you need to find a way to get rid of the wear. It's just so fun. I just had so much fun with this game, and I just keep enjoying it year after year. Well, it's like 2 years old I guess, but anyhow, every time I play it I'm having a lot of fun, and I really want to, it really deserves, for me it really deserves a place here in 14 Automobiles. So 13 is a game that was in top 10 last year, has dropped down from 8, and it's Robinson Crusoe Adventures on a Cursed Island. This is a cooperative game where you sort of thematically you are stranded on an island, and you're trying to survive. There's different scenarios for what happens at that game you're playing. And this is an awesome game. I mean, that's why it is my number 13, so don't worry too much about it dropping down, but it's so much fun. I love playing this solo. It's one of my favorite solo games, and there's a lot happening in this game. It has some really interesting things where you sort of meet, something happens, you find some wood in the forest, right? Or in the jungle, and you bring it home and build a roof with it, but it might not be good wood. When it starts raining and storming, it won't hold. So you have to make that decision when you find that stuff. Do you want to take it? Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I love that stuff, and it comes back to haunt you later on. So Robinson Crusoe is my number 13, and you can check out my solo playthrough for that as well. Then at number 12, this has gone up a lot as well. It's from number 30 last year, so it's gone up a lot to number 12. It's called Alchemists. And Alchemist is a really beautiful, fun little, not little, it's a worker placement game. That's what I was going to say. And you place your workers on the board to do different things. What you're trying to do though is you are an alchemist. You're brewing potions for the adventurers. You're trying to sell it to adventurers that come to the town. And you do this in a deduction style, like a Sudoku almost, where you have a big screen in front of you and you have all your stuff behind it, and you're trying to figure out the combinations of these different ingredients in different things, like a feather or a toad and so on. What does the toad consist of? And you're trying to figure that out, and the more you figure out, the better you can do on the worker placement and all that as well. So beautiful and so charming and so lovely theme and all that. Had so much fun with Alchemists. That's why it risen all the way up to number 12. And the last one for this segment is my number 11. It dropped down from number 7. This is one of my favorite games, of course, that's why it's 11. It's called Nations, the Dice Game. This is a sort of smallish dice game where it's based on the game Nations. That was mine, was it? It's further down somewhere there. 29 was Nations, okay. So, but I like Nations, the dice game, a lot more because it's so easy to bring to the table and play it in like 40 minutes or 30 minutes. And what you do is you roll dice to get different resources, and you use those resources to build buildings and fight battles and so on, and conquer like colonies. And yeah, and the expansion that came out last year was awesome as well. Brought a lot of stuff to the game that made it more like a gamer's game. It's not such a gateway game anymore. Even though these days, if I teach it to someone, I just have the expansion in there to start off with because I love that one. So Nations, the Dice Game is an awesome game. It's my number 11. It just barely missed the top 10 this time. And now the next time we meet, we'll do the top 10. And I can, a little teaser here. There's 1, 2, 3 new games in the top 10 that wasn't even on the top 50 at all. So that is amazing. So the top 10 comes next time around. We're gonna be 3 guys in a row, and we're gonna do this together and have a lot of fun, I hope. And I hope you have fun as well watching this. Tell me in the comment section what you think about this series, and if you have any, what do you think about these games that I'm saying here? And maybe you don't agree. Let us have a chat in the comments, and please like the video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or morning, or whenever you're watching this. Take care. Bye bye.
Be like Draco. Follow Board Games with Niramas on Facebook at BGW Niramas. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.